Have you ever had one of those days where everything seems to go wrong at once? You wake up late, miss your bus, forget something important, and before you know it, the whole day feels ruined. Your heart races, your chest tightens, and your mind fills with thoughts like, "Why is this happening to me?" It's strange, isn't it? The moment one thing breaks, everything else seems to follow. But here's a secret most people never realize. It's not the problems themselves that destroy our peace. It's our reaction to them. When life feels like chaos, your natural instinct is to panic, to fix everything right now. But panic never fixes anything. It only makes the storm louder. Calmness, on the other hand, is not about pretending everything's fine. It's about keeping your inner world steady while the outer world shakes. Hey there, and welcome to Read and Learn English, a place where we grow stronger, wiser, and more fluent together. Here, we don't just learn English words. We learn powerful life lessons through stories, reflection, and real emotion. So as you listen, remember, every word you hear is not just practice for your English, but also a mirror for your mindset. Think about it like this. If your phone freezes, you don't start smashing the screen. You restart it. Calmness is the restart button for your mind. It doesn't erase the problem, but it gives you control again. Now let's get honest. Most of us weren't taught how to stay calm. We grew up believing that stress means we care, that worry means we're responsible, and that being calm means we don't understand how serious things are. But that's wrong. Calmness doesn't mean ignorance. It means intelligence under pressure. Let's look at a moment we can all relate to. Failure. Maybe you studied hard for an exam, but when the paper came, your mind went blank. You felt panic take over. The words you knew suddenly vanished. Your brain wasn't broken. It was overloaded. Stress blocked your memory. The same thing happens when you try to speak English and your mind freezes. You know the words, but under pressure, your thoughts and tongue don't cooperate. You start doubting yourself. You think, maybe I'm just not good enough. But you are. You're just not calm enough yet. Calmness is the secret ingredient behind clear thinking, smooth speaking, and confident action. It's the reason pilots stay focused in emergencies, why doctors stay composed in the operating room, and why great speakers don't crumble when they forget a line. When everything goes wrong, your body reacts first. Your heartbeat rises, your muscles tighten, your breath shortens. That's your brain's alarm system shouting, "Danger!" But here's what you can train it to do instead. Hear the alarm and pause. Take one slow breath. That single pause changes everything. Because in that one breath, your brain gets oxygen. Your thoughts start organizing. Your emotions calm down just enough for logic to return. You move from reacting to responding. And that's the difference between losing control and leading yourself. Imagine two people in the same storm. One panics, shouts, blames, and breaks things. The other breathes, observes, and waits for the right moment to act. Who do you think will find a way out first? Life doesn't reward speed. It rewards clarity. The calm person doesn't always know all the answers, but they create space to think clearly and choose wisely. And calmness isn't something you're born with. It's a muscle. Every time you choose patience instead of panic, that muscle grows stronger. Every time you speak slowly when you're nervous, that muscle grows. Every time you stop, breathe, and think before reacting, you're building mental strength. Now here's the truth many people don't want to face. Calmness doesn't mean things will always go right. It means you'll still be right even when things go wrong. There will be days when your plans collapse, when people disappoint you, when nothing seems fair. Those are not signs you're losing. Those are tests to show you how much control you truly have. Remember, storms don't last forever, but panic can make a small storm feel like a lifetime. When you stay calm, you shorten the storm. You give yourself the chance to see solutions that panic hides. Here's a small exercise. Next time something frustrates you, maybe your internet lags, your friend cancels plans, or you forget an important task, stop. Don't react. Don't explain. Don't complain. Take one slow breath. Then say to yourself, I'm in control of how I respond. You'll notice something powerful. Your thoughts slow down, and your emotions start listening to you instead of the other way around. Calmness is not a gift. It's a decision. And like all decisions, it gets easier the more you practice. So if everything seems to be going wrong right now, don't fight it. Don't drown in overthinking. Just breathe. You're learning the first skill of calmness, to pause when chaos begins. This is where your journey starts, by realizing that calmness isn't about waiting for life to stop being hard. It's about learning to stay still inside the storm. Because once you learn that, you'll stop being a victim of your emotions and start becoming the master of your mind.
Most people believe that calmness is something you're born with, like eye color or height. They think calm people are just naturally peaceful, and the rest of us are doomed to stress forever. But that's one of the biggest lies we've been told about emotional strength. Calmness isn't luck, it's training. It's the invisible skill that separates those who crumble under pressure from those who rise above it. Think about it. When a pilot flies through turbulence, does he panic like the passengers? No, he's calm. Not because the plane isn't shaking, but because he's trained his mind not to. He's practiced every possible emergency in his head, so when chaos arrives, he's already prepared. That's the truth about calmness. It's not something you find in peaceful moments. It's something you build in difficult ones. You see, calmness is misunderstood. Many people think it means being emotionless, like a robot. But real calmness is not about feeling less. It's about managing more. It's the art of holding powerful emotions in your hands without letting them break you. Imagine a surgeon operating on a patient. Every move matters. Every second counts. The heart monitor beeps faster, the pressure rises, yet the surgeon stays steady. Why? Because they've trained their focus. They don't let panic enter their hands. That's calmness in action. Now, think about your own life. When you face a challenge, maybe a problem at school, at work, or while learning English, your first reaction is emotion. You feel anxious, embarrassed, or angry. But if you could pause and say, okay, I feel this. Now let's think. you'd already be ahead of 90% of people. Here's the hidden truth. Calm people aren't born calm. They've simply failed more, learned faster, and practiced self-control more often. They've learned to use every failure as emotional training. Most people quit when something feels uncomfortable. But calm thinkers? They stay in the discomfort until it becomes normal. They practice patience the way athletes practice strength. Let's use a simple example. Language learning. When you speak English, you might feel nervous or afraid of mistakes. But what if you saw every mistake as practice in calmness? When your mind starts to panic, what if they laugh? That's your moment to train. Take a slow breath. Speak anyway. That's not just English practice. That's emotional discipline. Calmness and mastery go hand in hand. If you study any master, a martial artist, a chess grandmaster, or a great teacher, you'll see the same trait: stillness. They move slowly, speak clearly, and think deeply. They've trained their minds to stay focused no matter what's happening around them. In contrast, the average person reacts instantly to messages, emotions, and stress. They let the world control their mood, but calm people create a space between the problem and their response. And in that space, they find power. Think of it like this. Every time something annoys you, you have two choices: react fast and lose control, pause, breathe, and lead your mind. That tiny pause is the birthplace of calmness. But calmness doesn't mean silence or weakness. It's not about staying quiet when you should speak up. It's about speaking with purpose, not panic. It's about knowing when to act and when to wait. The world often confuses noise with strength, shouting, rushing, showing power, but real strength is quiet. It's in the person who stays kind when others are cruel. It's in the student who keeps studying after failure. It's in the worker who stays respectful under pressure. That's why calmness is one of the highest forms of intelligence. It's emotional wisdom. It's saying, I don't need to control everything around me. I just need to control myself. Now, I want you to imagine this. A storm is coming. The wind is wild. The trees are shaking and everyone's running for cover. But one person stands still, breathing slowly, eyes open. They don't fight the wind. They watch it. They wait. Because they know. Storms always pass. That's what calmness feels like inside your mind. When you stay calm, you can think clearly, even when everything around you is loud. And when your mind is clear, your English improves too. You start speaking slowly, confidently, without fear. Your words flow because your mind isn't fighting itself anymore. Here's the truth. The calmer you become, the more you understand. Not just words, but people, emotions, and life itself. So, the next time you find yourself losing control, remember this lesson. Calmness is not the absence of emotion. The people you admire most, the ones who seem so wise, so centered, they weren't born that way, they practiced. They learned from failure. They built patience, one breath at a time. You can do it too. Every stressful moment is a free classroom. Every argument, every mistake, every failure, and all of it is a chance to practice calmness. You don't need to run from stress anymore. You can use it. You can transform it into strength, because calmness isn't a special gift for a few people. It's a daily choice for those who decide to grow. And when you start seeing it that way, life changes. You stop feeling powerless. You stop reacting to everything, and you start creating your world, one calm moment at a time. So remember, the next time your heart starts racing and your thoughts begin to spin, tell yourself this: I'm not losing control. I'm training for calmness. That's how strong people think. That's how leaders grow. That's how you build mastery, in English and in life. Now that you understand calmness isn't luck but training, let's talk about how to build it. Because knowing the truth is one thing, but living it every day is another. So, how do calm people actually train their minds to stay steady when life explodes? The answer is something I call the Calm Mind Framework, a simple 3-step method you can practice anywhere, anytime. It's not about avoiding stress. It's about mastering your reaction to it. The 3 steps are pause and observe, breathe, and reframe, act with intention. Let's break these down one by one. Step 1. Pause and observe when something goes wrong. Your first instinct is to react immediately. You want to fix it, explain it, or defend yourself. But reacting too fast is like trying to swim in a storm. You'll only exhaust yourself. Instead, pause, even for 2 seconds. That pause is your doorway to calmness. In that moment, simply observe what's happening. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Are you angry? Scared? Disappointed? Just naming the emotion gives your brain clarity. There's a saying in psychology: you can't control what you don't understand. When you pause and observe, you understand your emotions instead of being controlled by them. For example, imagine you're learning English and someone corrects your mistake in front of others. Your first reaction might be embarrassment or frustration. But if you pause and observe, you notice that emotion, and you can choose not to let it control your confidence. That's power. The pause turns chaos into awareness, and awareness is the foundation of calm. Step 2. Breathe and reframe. Once you've paused, the next step is to breathe slowly and deeply. It sounds simple, but this is science. Your breath is directly connected to your nervous system. When you breathe deeply, your body sends a message to your brain: we're safe. That single message slows your heart rate, clears your thoughts, and reduces panic. It's like pressing reset on your emotions. But breathing alone isn't enough. You must also reframe the situation. That means changing how you see it. Instead of thinking, "This is a disaster," say, "This is practice." Instead of saying, "I failed," say, "I'm learning." Reframing doesn't lie to you. It gives you a more useful truth. Here's an example. Let's say you were giving a presentation in English, and halfway through you forgot a word. You froze. Everyone stared. In your head, it feels like failure. But if you reframe it, you'll realize it's not failure, it's feedback. Your brain is saying, "This is the word I need to practice next." That's calm thinking. When you reframe the problem loses power. Because the truth is, your thoughts decide how painful a moment feels. Two people can experience the same event. One breaks down, the other grows stronger. The difference isn't the event, it's the story they tell themselves. So, ask yourself, what's another way to see this? That's the magic question that turns anxiety into strength. Step 3. Act with intention. Now that you're calm and thinking clearly, it's time to act. But don't act from emotion. Act from intention. Most people act to escape discomfort. Calm people act to create clarity. Their actions are slow, steady, and deliberate. Let's say someone criticizes you harshly. You feel angry. You want to reply right away. But instead of reacting, you pause, breathe, and ask, what response will bring peace, not just to me, but to this situation? Acting with intention doesn't always mean staying silent or walking away. Sometimes it means speaking your truth, but calmly, clearly, and respectfully. It means responding with purpose, not with pain. Here's the secret. Your first reaction is almost always emotion. Your second response is wisdom. So always wait for the second one. When you act with intention, even mistakes become meaningful. You learn faster. You grow deeper, and life starts to feel like a classroom instead of a battlefield. Putting it all together. So here's the full picture again. Pause and observe. Stop reacting. Start noticing, breathe, and reframe. Calm your body. Change your story. Act with intention. Choose a response that reflects your strength, not your fear. This is how calmness becomes a daily habit. But remember, this framework isn't about perfection. You'll still get angry. You'll still lose patience sometimes. And that's okay. Because calmness isn't about never falling. It's about recovering faster every time you do. Each time you practice these steps, your emotional recovery becomes quicker. Where once you'd panic for hours, now you recover in minutes, and one day, you'll notice. The same problems that used to break you no longer have power over you. That's the reward for your practice. And here's something powerful to remember. You can practice this anywhere, at work, in class, while speaking English, even when someone annoys you online. Every situation becomes a training ground for your calmness, because calmness isn't built in silence or meditation alone. It's built in real life, in the noise, in the conflict, in the failure. It's built when you stay soft in a hard moment. So from now on, whenever life throws a test at you, say to yourself, this is my practice. This is my calmness training. Because calmness isn't just something you do, it's someone you become. And with every pause, every breath, and every intentional action, you're shaping that version of yourself. That's how you begin to master your emotions, your thoughts, and your growth. And the next time everything goes wrong, you'll realize it's not the end of your peace. It's the start of your power. Now that you understand the calm mind framework, let's talk about how to make it part of your daily life, because calmness isn't something you learn once and keep forever. It's something you practice. Every single day, think of calmness like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens. But if you train it, even in small ways, it grows stronger and becomes automatic. Soon, calmness becomes your default mode, not just a reaction to chaos. Let's explore how to build that daily habit step by step. Start your morning with stillness. How? You start your morning decides how you handle the rest of your day. Most people wake up, grab their phone, and scroll through stress, messages, notifications, news. Their mind becomes chaotic before they even leave bed, but calm people do something different. They give their mind a few minutes of silence before the world starts speaking. It doesn't need to be long. Even 5 quiet minutes can change your energy. You can sit by your window, take slow breaths, or simply whisper gratitude. I'm here. I'm alive. I can handle today. This small ritual sets your emotional tone. It tells your brain, I'm in control. You don't need expensive meditation apps or long routines. All you need is a moment of stillness, a mental pause before the world begins. Try this. Tomorrow morning, don't touch your phone for the first 10 minutes. Breathe, stretch. Think about one thing you're thankful for. You'll feel how calmness follows you through the day like a quiet friend. Turn challenges into practice. Sessions, here's the truth. Life will always throw challenges at you. Someone will cut you off in traffic. Your internet will fail during an important meeting. A friend will misunderstand you. But instead of seeing these moments as interruptions, see them as training opportunities. Each challenge is a mini exam for your calmness. When someone irritates you, ask yourself, can I stay calm right now? Can I practice what I've learned? You'll notice something magical. Even difficult moments start feeling like progress. The same way athletes train with resistance, calm people train with discomfort. When you face a problem and stay centered, you're building emotional muscle. Every stressful situation becomes your gym. So next time you feel frustrated or anxious, smile slightly and say to yourself, this is my training moment. That single shift changes everything, because calmness isn't built when things are easy. It's built when you stay kind, steady and wise when things are hard. Speak calmly. Even when you don't feel calm, your words shape your emotions. The way you speak can either calm your body or stress it even more. Most people raise their voice when they're upset. They speak fast, loud, and emotionally. But calmness begins in your tone. Try this. When something goes wrong, lower your voice instead of raising it. Speak slower instead of faster. Even if you don't feel calm yet, your voice will tell your body, everything is okay. This technique is used by therapists, teachers, and even negotiators, because when your voice slows down, your nervous system follows. If English isn't your first language, this is even more powerful. When you slow down and speak calmly, you don't just improve your pronunciation, you improve your confidence, you show control, maturity, and peace. People start listening to you differently. So, remember, calmness isn't just what you feel. It's also what you sound like. Reflect before you sleep. The last few minutes before sleep are your most powerful teacher. That's when your mind replays the day. If you end the night with stress, your brain learns chaos. But if you end it with reflection, your brain learns calmness. Each night, before you close your eyes, ask yourself 3 simple questions. What went well today? What tested my calmness? What can I do better tomorrow? These questions shift your focus from problems to progress. They teach your mind to see growth. Instead of guilt, you don't need to write a long journal. Even a few sentences in your head can help you end the day with clarity, because reflection is where calmness turns into wisdom. Protect. Your inner space calmness also depends on what you allow into your life. You can't stay peaceful if you're constantly surrounded by noise, both online and offline. Ask yourself, who or what steals my peace most often? Is it negative news, endless scrolling, or people who drain my energy? Start protecting your inner space like a sacred garden. You can't control the world, but you can choose what enters your mind. That doesn't mean avoiding reality. It means choosing balance. Watch one inspiring video for every piece of bad news. Spend 1 quiet hour for every noisy one. Replace complaints with gratitude and gossip with learning. Your environment shapes your emotions, so create one that supports your calmness, not steals it. 6. Forgive yourself quickly. This might be the most powerful habit of all. You won't always stay calm. You'll lose patience, get angry, or say things you regret. And that's okay. Calmness doesn't mean perfection. It means recovery. Every time you forgive yourself, you release emotional weight. You remind your brain that growth is not linear. Think of it this way. When a child falls while learning to walk, we don't say you're a failure. We say you're learning. You deserve the same kindness. Forgive fast, learn faster, and move forward lighter. Combine calmness with action finally. Remember this truth. Calmness without action is just comfort. Calmness with action becomes strength. Don't use peace as an excuse to stay passive. True calm, people act with focus, not fear. They make decisions clearly because their mind isn't clouded by panic. When you're calm, you think better. When you think better, you act better. And when you act better, your life transforms. So use your calm mind as a weapon for creation, to build, learn, and lead. Bringing it all together, let's recap your daily practice. Start with stillness. Use challenges as training. Speak slowly and calmly. Reflect before sleep. Protect your space. Forgive quickly. Act with purpose. Do this every day, not perfectly, but consistently, because repetition turns knowledge into character. And when calmness becomes part of who you are, life doesn't control you anymore. You control how you live it. So remember, peace isn't found by running away from storms. It's built by learning to stand still inside them. And with practice, one day you'll realize the world can shake, but you remain unshaken. That's calmness. That's mastery. And that's the power you're learning here. One day, one breath, one choice at a time. You've learned how to understand calmness, how to train it, and how to live it every day. But the real goal isn't just to practice calmness. It's to become calmness itself. Because calmness isn't something you do, it's something you are. When you reach that level, you don't try to be calm, you simply stay grounded. No matter what happens around you, the noise, the chaos, the stress, they may touch your life. But they don't control your mind. That's when you become unshakable. Calmness as self-image, what you believe about yourself shapes how you live. If you think you're someone who always gets stressed, you'll act that way. But if you start saying, I'm the kind of person who stays calm even in storms, your brain begins to believe it. This is how calmness turns into identity. Start repeating it daily. I am calm, even when life isn't. I think clearly under pressure. I choose peace, not panic. These are not just affirmations. They are instructions to your brain. Over time, they reprogram your reactions. You stop chasing calmness and start living it. When calmness becomes part of who you are, you no longer get pulled by every emotion or every problem. You start responding instead of reacting. That's power. Calmness inspires. Others, one of the most beautiful parts of calmness is how it spreads. When you stay calm, you silently teach others to do the same. Think about a person you admire, maybe a mentor, a teacher, or even a friend who never loses control. What makes them powerful isn't their words, it's their energy. They make you feel safe, centered, and understood. That's the gift you give the world when you become calm. You become the quiet strength in noisy rooms. You bring peace without speaking a word. So remember, every time you choose calmness, you're not just helping yourself. You're changing the atmosphere around you. You're leading by example. And that kind of leadership can't be faked. Calmness builds confidence. There's a secret link between calmness and confidence. Calm people look confident because they trust themselves. Confident people stay calm because they trust their strength. When your mind is steady, you make better decisions. You don't panic. You don't rush. You respond with wisdom. The next time you face a big test, a meeting or an English conversation that makes you nervous, pause and say, I can handle this. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you can stay calm even while fear whispers in your ear. That's emotional mastery, and that's what real confidence is made of. So, don't chase boldness or perfection. Build calmness, because calmness will quietly build everything else. The art of letting go. The deepest form of calmness is letting go. Letting go of control. Letting go of needing every plan to work perfectly. Letting go of fighting life's natural flow. When you try to control everything, you suffer. But when you trust that you can handle whatever comes, you relax. It's like holding sand in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the faster it slips away. But when you open your palm, it stays. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means understanding that peace comes from trust, not tension. You don't need to predict every outcome. You just need to stay calm and keep moving forward. That's strength, quiet, grounded, and real. The long journey. Within calmness doesn't mean you'll never feel angry, sad, or anxious again. It means you'll handle those emotions wisely, not wildly. You'll still fall sometimes, but you'll rise faster. You'll still get shaken, but you'll regain balance quicker. That's progress. And slowly, you'll realize that things that once broke you now barely move you because you've changed. Your calmness has become your anchor. This is what it means to be unshakable, not emotionless, but emotionally wise. Your new identity from today? Remind yourself, I am calm. I am steady. I can handle anything. This isn't pretending. It's choosing. You're choosing peace over panic, clarity over chaos. You're choosing to become the kind of person who doesn't run from storms, but stands strong within them. You've learned to pause, breathe, reframe, and act with intention. Now it's time to live it. Every day, every moment, every word. You are no longer just learning calmness, you are becoming calmness. The invitation to continue before you go, take a deep breath. You've come so far, and this is only the beginning. Every video on this channel, Read and Learn English, is here to help you grow, not just in English, but in confidence, peace, and mastery. To help you understand life, not just language. So keep practicing, keep learning, and keep showing up calmly, consistently, courageously. Because true calmness isn't about escaping storms. It's about dancing in the rain and smiling anyway. That's what makes you unshakable. That's who you're becoming. And that's it, my friend. If there's one thing I hope you take from this video, it's that calmness isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Every time life pushes you, you have a choice to react, or to rise, to panic, or to pause, to give up, or to grow stronger. Remember, every storm you face is secretly shaping you into someone unshakable. If today's story helped you feel a little calmer, a little braver, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep learning with us here on Read and Learn English. Because here, we don't just learn words, we learn wisdom. Stay calm, stay growing, and I'll see you in the next video.